Another Brick fan here with a look at the Collectible minifigure series for DC Comics. This is scheduled to be released next year and consists of 16 minifigures. They have released official images for all of the individual figures, so let's take a look. I like the look of this series. There's a lot of really cool pictures that are out. I like this one showing all of the characters. You can see them all in various action poses, and it looks like all of them have accessories. So let's get into each individual minifigure. Let's start with Aquaman. This Aquaman looks loosely based on the movie version of Aquaman and some of the classic version of Aquaman. So it looks like he has a armor on his right shoulder where he's also carrying a spring green or lime green fish. And then his left hand is kind of interesting. It looks like it's a kind of a gold claw here. Not really sure about that yet, but that looks like an interesting piece. I like the beard and the hair. It looks pretty good on Aquaman here. Overall, a nice figure. Next up, we have the 1960s version of Batman. So this is the classic look of Batman from way back in the original Batman comics. The really big cowl with the large ears. He comes with a batarang, of course. Interesting to see it in this blue color instead of black. And he also comes with it looks like a rope for him to swing on. A good look for the Batman figure. The printing on the torso looks pretty good. I'm not quite sure about the purple or violet hands, but I guess they're going to be okay. Next is Batmite. Batmite is not really a supervillain, but a nuisance. Batmite is a sprite from the fifth dimension, so he seems to have magical or very advanced scientific powers. And he's Batman's biggest fan. You see him carrying the Detective Comics number 21 here. A very nice printed tile, and of course shows that 1960s version of Batman on it. These two characters go really well together. Bumblebee is a character that I wasn't too familiar with, but I looked her up, but apparently she was part of the Teen Titans and of the Doom Patrol. She first appeared in December 1976 in Teen Titans number 45. This is a good representation of the character. I like these wings, and then the hair is very accurate to the comic book image that I've seen. She has these lightning pieces, apparently something to do with her powers and being able to shoot lightning or some kind of electrical attack. The torso looks pretty good with the bare midriff there and the traditional orange and black kind of bumblebee coloring. A very nice character. Next up is Cyborg, again a member of the Teen Titans. It looks more closely related to the look from the Justice League movie as opposed to the traditional comic book character. Still a nice character. There's leg printing down both legs there in the front. I like the belt, and the sculpting around the torso is nice as well. This hairpiece is really good with the dual molding for the helmet for the left side of his face and then the more human hair on the right side. Looks like it's going to be a really good figure as well. This is the Golden Age Flash, or Jay Garrick version of the Flash. This one is nicely done as well. I like the look of the torso print is very accurate. I also like how it looks like he has dual molded legs that are printed on the side. The printing on the ankle is very similar to the wings that are up on the helmet, so I appreciate the look here. I'm not too excited about the lightning bolts coming out his back there. I suppose that's to represent the lightning as he runs. It looks kind of odd to me with that clear piece, but perhaps when I get my hands on the figure, it will look a little bit better. This is Green Lantern, and is based on Simon Baz, who is one that appeared first in 2012 in the relaunch. I'm personally a big fan of the original Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. But I do like the printing on the torso is very good. The dual molded legs are nice. I like the lantern piece. It's cool to see this lantern piece here. And this ring piece is very nicely done in the trans green with the lantern symbol on the front. super big, obviously, very out of proportion, but the look of it is very cool. So I'm impressed with this new printed tile. Next up is the Huntress, and I'm not sure which exact version this is. And the original Golden Age Huntress was a supervillain who battled the superhero Wildcat. And then in the later versions, Huntress was a superhero. Either way, the figure looks really good, again with the dual molded legs, the purple on the bottom, black on top, some nice printing there. Interesting printing for the torso. It looks like she has a utility belt piece there, as well as the crossbow piece. The black cape is nice. I like the hair piece, and then the printing on the face looks quite good. Next up is Metamorpho, who is a member of the Justice League. He's also known as the Element Man. He can basically metamorph his body into whatever he wants using the elements. So you see here he's got some, looks like mud, some water, perhaps some fire or warmer metal on his one side. He does have this enhanced hand piece, or this larger hand piece. And I think the printing on his head is pretty cool. The dual molding on the legs is nice with that clear and standard piece. So one leg is clear with some printing on it, and then the other leg in the more mud color. So a very nice look for Metamorpho here. Mr. Miracle is a superhero that was created by Jack Kirby back in the 70s. This is a good looking figure, a lot of printing on the legs, which I always appreciate for his costume in the red and green. The torso print is covered up by these chains here. It looks like he's handcuffed as well, so apparently he's been captured. The face print is really good with the red and yellow. It looks pretty accurate to the character himself. The two cloak pieces are nice, so he's got the high collar cloak in the back and then the cape, which is accurate to the original comic character. The accessories are also very nice, and interesting that he's a captured superhero. Next up is Cheetah, who is one of Wonder Woman's adversaries. So she's a supervillain that fought against Wonder Woman in the original 1960s. She appeared early on. It looks like Wonder Woman #6 was her first appearance. I like the side printing on the legs, and it also looks like she has a nice tail piece here. Her headpiece is nice with a cheetah head spots and the ears. Has kind of a sinister look on her face, and she comes with this money bag accessory. Another nice looking character to add to the collection. Next up we have Joker from The Dark Knight Returns. He's got a card piece that's a Joker card, Joker playing card, which looks pretty good. I like the white suit, and then there's some purple shirt underneath that. Also looks very good. Has the classic green hair, the nice expression on his face, and then it looks like a cotton candy piece or a beehive piece that has been printed pink to represent cotton candy. Overall, a very good representation of the Joker and a nice figure to get. Next up is Sinestro, who was an enemy to the Green Lantern Corps. In fact, he was a corpsman until he fell away from the Corps and learned how to harness the yellow energy, which was the antithesis to the Green Lanterns. You may recall that the Green Lantern power is ineffective against the color yellow. Looks like he's using the same lantern piece as the Green Lantern piece, the Green Lantern figure we saw earlier. Once again, he has a very large ring representation here with a trans yellow piece that is printed with a different pattern here. I like the hair piece. It looks very accurate to the comics. The skin coloring there, that kind of hot pink color, looks really good. I like the expression on his face. The torso print is nice with some silver and light blue on top of the black, and it looks like he does have some side printing on his arms as well. So this has the looks of a very good character as well. Stargirl is another one I had to look up. This is a recent DC comic hero that appeared in Stargirl and Stripe, which was a spinoff from the Justice Society of America, and she appeared in 1999. She's got this staff, it looks like, with a hook on the end of it, which is interesting. The hairpiece is nice. I like these hair pieces with the over the shoulder so that the hair comes over the front, it looks like, and just on one side, which is really cool. Another nice torso print with the belt, bare midriff, and some printing on the arms with those stars. I believe the legs are dual molded with black and then some blue probably on top, and then there's some nice prints there with the gaps. So it looks like she's wearing some spandex shorts perhaps that go about halfway down her legs, and then some black boot. A very nice figure. I especially like that hairpiece. It's really cool as it just goes over one shoulder. Looks like she might have to be looking off to the side all the time though. We'll have to see when I get the figure in my hands. Next up is Superman, a classic DC character. I really like the hairpiece with that one hair that's out of place. I believe this is based on the rebirth or the new Superman as opposed to the more classic ones. The torso print is really nice with this darker blue, the Superman emblem, kind of these red highlights for his belt that goes around his waist. A little bit of printing on his legs, maybe to indicate the tops of his boots. He, of course, is carrying a Daily Planet tile here, which looks good, and his classic red cape. To me, the best part of this is really that hairpiece with that little curl there. Adds a lot of character to that hairpiece. I don't think I've seen that one before. Finally, we have Wonder Woman. She has a nice dual molded hair piece with the tiara and her black hair. The eagle print there on her torso looks pretty good. She has a blue and white star skirt piece that goes around her waist there. Looks like the legs potentially are dual molded, blue and red, with some nice printing to indicate her boots and some skin in between the boots and the bottom of her skirt. She does have her signature bracelets there printed on the sides of her arms, and she's carrying her golden lasso. Overall, a good representation of Wonder Woman. Hope you enjoyed my initial thoughts on this collectible minifigure series. Looks like it's got an awful lot of potential. I'm very excited to get my hands on these and be able to do a more thorough review and get a look at these from all sides in person. I'm going to get started on another video, and until then, happy building. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to see more of my content.